The World Cup has been fun. It's been great. I'll be honest, I've loved all of it. But Manchester United are back in action tomorrow night with a friendly against Cadiz. It might not be what you would consider the most exciting game in the world, given that there are so many first-team players who aren't there. But that is precisely why it could be an interesting game for you to watch. Youngsters breaking through in the same way that Zidane Iqbal and Charlie Savage, two standouts from the pre-season tour. What youngsters are going to force their way into Erik Ten Hag's contentions now? Especially Alejandro Garnacho has just broken through. He'll be taking a look at the academy and what youngsters can impress him. And that's what I'm going to focus on in this video. We're going to run through the starting 11, run through everything we know, and I'll give you my predictions and my predicted 11 for the game. So make sure you drop a like in the video. Let's go and let's talk about it. And I think Erik Ten Hag will be looking at this game and he'll be excited in certain ways for it. He'll be excited, as I said. He is a manager who knows what it means to bring young players through and turn them into top-class stars. That's what he did at Ajax so well. Hopefully that's what he's going to do with Alejandro Garnacho. And hopefully it's what he will do with some in the future. Now, in terms of Cadiz, they're not exactly flying high, are they? They're second bottom in La Liga, 11 points from 14 games. They're having a poopy stinker of a season. Perfect time to play Manchester United and probably win. And this was our travelling squad. There were some senior players in there. You got De Gea, you got Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Van der Beek, McTominay, Martial, I suppose Elanga if you want to call him that. And so many youngsters and so many exciting youngsters. Now, one thing I spoke about in the live stream this morning that I thought was a really good idea was Manchester United. We took out our under-21s coach, Mark Dempsey. And the reason we did that was because it allows so many of those youngsters to make that transition, that step towards first-team football with a little bit less intimidation, because they are comfortable working with Mark Dempsey. And that environment, I really do think that is a smart ploy from Erik Ten Hag and Mitchell van der Gaag. Of course, this was them spotted at the under-21s games. They will be looking towards United's academy for some real stars. And I think there's a couple of standout players. Maybe you already know who they are, maybe because they're on the thumbnail. But there's a conversation to be had, I think, about plenty. But let's try and predict this starting 11. I swear, if I get this 11 right, there's no point in me doing the lottery this year, because that's it. I've expended all my luck. Now, in terms of goalkeeper, you could play David De Gea. Yeah, I'm going to give Tom Heaton a go. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion. And I think David De Gea, should he be starting in when the World Cup's on, in friendlies against Cadiz and Real Betis? I think, man, just let him chill. Just let David De Gea just have a little bit of time off. Maybe he'll want to start him. Maybe you'll see Dubravka there. Maybe you'll see even Bishop there. I don't really know, but the goalkeeper is kind of irrelevant. But in terms of defence, this is what I would predict to see in the back four. I would go Lindelof there. I would go Wan-Bissaka as right back. I would go Teden Mengi alongside Lindelof. And I would go Brandon Williams down there at right back. Now, in terms of players who have got to impress, I don't think he's really got a chance, in my opinion, of staying at Manchester United past the January transfer window. But maybe these games are opportunities to put him in the transfer. I mean, not really. No one's going to be watching Cadiz on a Wednesday night. But it is a break from World Cup football, so it is a good time to play it. Wan-Bissaka, in my opinion, just will not fit the Ten Hag style of play. And that's, I feel pretty set in that. And it's not because I've got any sort of personal dislike towards Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he's a good defender. Just don't think he is a good defender for this Ten Hag style of play and system. I think he's not really the best progressive defender in the world. If you're playing in a team like Crystal Palace and you're like, your main objective is to keep a clean sheet and not really bring the ball forward in that modern day fullback style, then cool, that would suit you. I just don't think it's going to happen for Manchester United. Now, Mengi, I'll be quite excited to see what he could do there. Alongside Lindelof, it's a good partnership, I think. I think he'll probably go for a little bit of experience there. That's why I've gone for Lindelof. And that's why I've gone for Mengi. And remember, of course, that Martinez is banned for the game against Barcelona away from home. So depending on Rafael Varane's fitness, you could well see Lindelof then. I think Lindelof's been a decent enough centre-back for Man United when he stepped in this year. I think he's been okay. And Teden Mengi, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do there. At left-back, I've gone for Brandon Williams. Now, you could technically put Gerardo there, but he's more of a right-back. I personally think we'll see Brandon Williams, and I don't really know what to expect. A massively unknown entity in a Ten Hag system. He certainly is somebody who loved to play for United. Certainly somebody who's got the tenacity to play for United. Has he got the quality to play in Ten Hag's style and system? Maybe we'll find out here. But in terms of midfield, I would go for this, right? And I'll have a conversation about this. I've gone for McTominay there. I've gone for Kobbie Mainoo there. And I think we'll probably see Van der Beek there. We'll have a conversation about it. But of all the players, I think this lad is the one I'm most excited about. 17 years old. 17. Younger than Garnacho. And Garnacho's only just turned 80. It's wild how good Kobbie Mainoo looks. I don't want to get the comparisons. I'm not comparing him in terms of the style of play. But I remember watching Paul Pogba in the under-18s. And just looking at him going, man, you're way too good to play in the under-18s. You're way above that level. That's what I would say when I'm trying to compare Mainoo and Pogba. Not in terms of their style. Mainoo's somebody he's like a press-resistant, very physical midfielder. He'd love to get on the ball. He'd love to bring it forward. McTominay, I don't know. I'm putting McTominay in there for a bit of experience. This has to be a blend of it. When it comes to bringing through youngsters successfully, you have to blend as much experience as possible. And we've hardly got any experience in this travelling squad. So I'm going to put McTominay in there. And I'm going to go Mainoo alongside him. He's very good at bringing the ball forward. He's just got a bit of everything to his game. If you get the chance to watch him, keep an eye on him. Now, I would love to see maybe Iqbal play there a little bit further up. I mean, you could even put Hansen there, who's definitely a playmaker. But Van der Beek, I just think he's going to be given these games as maybe a little bit more of an opportunity by Erik ten Hag. I don't know. After those 3-4 starts that he had before the World Cup, I was like, wow. Donny really has kind of lost it in a Manchester United shirt. He's a ghost of himself. I don't think he's going to refine that out in Spain. But again, in terms of a blending experience of what you've got with the youth, I think he'll probably start Van der Beek. But if not, I would like to see Iqbal start in that position. Now, in terms of my 3 attackers, there's a couple of attackers you can't see quite down there. You've got Elanga and Shura Tire just before they disappear behind me. I would like to see this, right? I'm going to go Garnacho over there. I'm going to go Martial through the middle. Maybe I wouldn't like to see this, but this is kind of what I expect to see. I'm going to go for that. Let's bring a couple of pictures up here on screen. Because this man is somebody that we need to see fit and fully fit to finish 90 minutes of Manchester United against Nottingham Forest on the 27th. That's the aim. Burnley, kind of irrelevant. Maybe you can get 20, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's a League Cup game. But that Premier League game against Nottingham Forest, we need Martial fit and ready to start that game and finish that game. That's the aim. And therefore, these games here are going to be important. They will be time to get fitness into those legs for Martial. So maybe more so than other experienced players, this is a real opportunity, I think, for him. In terms of Van der Beek, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm not done with Van der Beek. That would be unfair. But I personally would rather see Iqbal play in that position. I mean, you could technically play Kobbie Mainoo a little bit further up. And I know that Iqbal played a little bit deeper in terms of his opportunities that he got in pre-season. But let's find out. Maybe he can play in more a number 10 role. Garnacho, I think, should and will start out on the left wing. Man, he made that position his own in the build-up to the World Cup. Marcus Rashford's having an absolutely superb World Cup. It's fantastic. He's going to come back buzzing in form. And that's going to be really an interesting dynamic to see who starts and who shines on that left wing for Manchester United. Come the start of the second half of the season, effectively, is what I'm calling it. Part 1's finished. Part 2, I think we should be seeing Garnacho start out on that left wing. Now, I've gone for Anthony Elanga, right? I don't particularly see Anthony Elanga having a long-term future as a Manchester United starter. I think he will be a player who's utilised in a squad in certain situations, and that's where his strengths and his characteristics will come through. But in terms of technical ability, I don't think it's anywhere near that. I mean, I know it's not anywhere near the level of Alejandro Garnacho or that sort of player. But in certain occasions, I think he'll be used. Now, I've gone for that as my attacking front 3 there. I've got Elanga on the right, Martial through the middle, and Garnacho on the left. But there are certain kids, and I think we will be seeing them get some game time. Charlie McNeill is one of them, right? Charlie McNeill has been an absolute goal scorer for United's youth teams. And if we're looking at 2 players that we would probably say that we're excited to watch in these next 2 games, I would say Kobbie Mainoo and I would say Charlie McNeill. And that's my opinion. You can let me know. You can talk about Hansen. You can talk about Gore. I'd like to see a bit of Gerardo as well. I mean, you could even talk about Hugill. Joe. Is it Joe Hugill? I think it's Joe Hugill. But I think we should be seeing this lad first. Signed from City, prolific goal scorer for them, prolific goal scorer in Manchester United's youth teams. And I just think Erik ten Hag will be going into these games with a big smile on his face. We finished the season strongly. Man United's players are finished the first half of the season strongly. Man United's players are having an excellent World Cup so far, and he's got an opportunity alongside Mark Dempsey to be looking at these youngsters to see which youngsters could be following, not Martial, that lad into the first team. And that's why I think Kobbie Mainoo is one to watch. That's why I think Charlie McNeill is one to watch. And that's why I've gone for this as a starting 11. Heaton in goal with a back four of Williams on the left, Wan-Bissaka with Lindelof and Mengi, a midfield three of McTominay, Mainoo and Van der Beek, and a front three of Garnacho, Martial and Elanga. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. What youngsters do you want to see most in these next two games? It's effectively, that's what it is. It's a real chance for them, with the absence of so many first-team players, to impress Ten Hag. You've got the eyes of your manager on you now. Use this opportunity. In the same way that Iqbal and Savage proved themselves during the preseason, who are going to be the youngsters that prove themselves during this part? And I really, really hope that Kobbie Mainoo starts. That's one player I really want to watch. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Prediction-wise, I'm going for a 2-1. Based on absolutely nothing. Let's see if I can guess that right. And I swear, if I get that 11 right, I'm done for the year betting. Because I'm never getting it better than that again. Drop a like on the video. Let me know what you think. And I'll be here with a match reaction, of course, after the game.